basically are a NFT project with 10,000 NFTs, 10,000 uh, randomly generated gangsters with varying rarities and varying attributes. And yeah, I started this project on BSC because I thought BSC is in its infancy for NFTs, whereas Solana and Ethereum are more established. And so since BSC is in its infancy, I thought that it had the best potential, and still do think that it has the best potential for growth. And so I started Cartel Punks.
Cool. Yeah, so if you could just tell us, a bit about your background, Jack. I know you've done projects in the BS scam before, before this one. You could tell us all about it.
Yeah, I used to do a ton of tokens. I had my biggest tokens were Rising Moon, which went to over 1 million market cap, and then Jail Doge, which went to over 500,000 market cap. But I also did a lot of micro caps and whatnot too. That was back all the way up until about September. I decided to get out of tokens just because the market was horrendous. Before that, I had done consulting in telecommunications. I had run window tinting business. Marketing and business were my specialties. And so, but then I also had the technological background from the telecommunications consulting to pull off a project. And I ended up getting into, like a lot of people, I ended up getting into BSC right as SafeMoon was starting to take off, and threw like $50 in, which quickly became 5,000, and that got me into BSC, and I've been in ever since. Back in the day, I would create innovative marketing strategies to get tokens ahead. But that was back when the market was a little bit different. But now I'm doing the same thing. I go all in and put everything behind the project.
Cool. So when did you come up with the idea for Cartel Punks?
Probably about, I would say maybe like a month ago. And that was when it just sort of began. Well, that's when the idea to get into NFTs began, was about a month ago. And then probably about 2 weeks ago, the idea got more further refined, and Cartel Punks was launched about a week later.
Cool. So I think a few of our team bought today, and it was 0.08, which is a really good price to buy into the tokens. But well, not the tokens, sorry, the NFTs. So it started at 0.02, was it, for the first 1,000? Then it goes up 0.02 each batch. Or are you between 3,000 and 4,000 now on the NFTs?
Yeah, so it's 0.08, because the first 1,000 were 0.02, the second 1,000 were 0.04, or wait, 0.02 to 0.04. No, yeah, and then the 0.08. But yeah, right now we're at 0.08, because we've already sold 3,000. That's the first 3,000. So this is actually the fourth tier. That makes sense. In my mind, I was trying to piece it together, but yes, since this is the fourth tier, it's 0.08. However, I would guess in probably a day or less, we will be at the next tier, which will be 0.1. These things seem to be moving really quickly, and it doesn't seem to stop even as we go up in tiers, in price tiers. It's not seeming to stop our momentum. And from what I've heard, once NFT projects hit about 50%, they usually start really flying. For some reason, the NFT enthusiasts, the more established market, from what people have told me, prefers to buy in at the higher prices, because they want to make sure that the project is going to take off first before they buy in, which is really silly. But it gives the chance to get in really early. All the people that got in at 0.02, 0.04, 0.06, we're holding really strong. We have a really, really strong, really active community that's holding up and holding the floor really well on the markets so that it's never, if it's ever below, if the floor is ever below the minting price, it's only by like 0.005. It's very minute. But it's extraordinarily rare that our market floor is lower than our minting price, which is something that you don't find really in BSC NFT projects. But it shows the strength of the community and how they're willing to hold together for much larger gains.
That's a great price, 0.08 at the moment, because I know some NFTs start around 0.33. So yeah, so it's a great time for people to get involved with Cartel Punks.
Well, and if
So
you also, I mean, if you put it in perspective, the last 1,000 are going to be zero point 0.2 BNB. So the mint price, the final mint price is more than double what we're at now. And that doesn't even factor in the prices that start to come out after you're fully minted and people don't have a price anymore other than what is set on the market. So yeah, it's a pretty good time to get in right now.
yeah, I think it's bought. Sorry, the feedback there. Yeah, so I think one of our members bought in 31 NFTs at 0.08. How many are left before we hit the 4,000?
Let me check here real quick. Let's see. There are about 350 left.
Cool. So yeah, people to get involved. So you can buy them. Some people want to keep them forever, obviously. Some people might want to sell them in 6, 12 months. Have you got the NFT marketplace to buy and sell resale on
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah, and what the marketplace is actually an interesting thing because right now we have Ludex, Ludex.io, and then SCV Finance, SCV.finance. We're listed on both of those, but tomorrow PancakeSwap is supposed to be releasing their NFT market, and that's going to completely and entirely change the BSC NFT game. Because everybody who uses BSC uses PancakeSwap, and everyone's going to start becoming more familiar once PancakeSwap starts having an NFT marketplace. And so that was also the idea behind the timing. I wanted to be one of the OG projects. I mean, there really aren't that many projects out there when you compare it to tokens. You know, there's like hundreds of tokens released every day. There's not a new NFT project really released on BSC every day. And so, not yet. But once PancakeSwap opens those floodgates, there's going to be a ton of them. And so that's the other advantage that you gain from Cartel Punks is that you're getting in at the base level, but you're also getting in before the bubble. So you're getting in with one of the OG devs who the next project after this gets fully minted, people are going to be wanting another project to ape into, of course. But the next project, Cartel Punks holders are going to be the first ones to be able to buy. So those lowest tiers, those lowest minting tiers will only be available probably to Cartel Punks members because I doubt, I bet you they're going to all sell out by just the Cartel Punks members. So, investing in Cartel Punks is also investing in a long-term NFT partnership, basically, with me.
This is gonna be crazy when PancakeSwap launches their NFTs tomorrow. Then I didn't actually know about that. Awesome. So it's bargain basement to get into Cartel Punks NFTs at 0.08. I'm sure you're going to hit 4,000 soon, and yeah, and then PancakeSwap will offer Cartel Punks to sell the NFTs through them as well. Is that how it's going to work? Or
All of the marketplaces you can sell any NFT, whether it's listed or not. I don't know if PancakeSwap is going to have listings. They may not. They may just do like a free for all, kind of like they do with tokens. You know, like they have no listing. You don't have to get your token listed. Well, I mean, you somewhat have to list with them, but not really. And so so my guess is that they may do something closer to just like a complete open market, but I have no idea. I don't know anybody over there. If there is any listing requirements, I'm quite sure we'll meet them. I mean, the rate at which we've grown is astronomical, and is not, there's very, very, very few BSC NFT projects out of the small number that are really out there anyways. There's very few that have grown anywhere near the level we have in anywhere near the time that we have. And uh, so yeah, I mean, we'll definitely meet any criteria that they throw on board, I'm sure.
Cool. So when did you mint the first one? What date was that?
It was about 5 or 6 days ago.
You've nearly half. You know, you're coming up to halfway. Yeah, minting the 10,000. Will you stop at the 10,000, or maybe in the future do a second edition? Or
Yeah, and that's what I was saying with joining the cartels. I'll do more projects once this is minted. I will do another project for people, because people are going to be all hyped up and they're going to, have loved cartel punks, and so they're going to want something else to ape into, and I'm sure they're going to want me to give something to them. So I'd be glad to do that, um, and create kind of like a cartel punks ecosystem. But the doing that, it's only going to be cartel punks holders that have access at in the beginning. So for like the first hour, you'll only be able to buy or mint if you're a current cartel punks holder, and so that will be so that's another advantage to getting into cartel punks. And then every project you'll have to hold one or more of the projects in order to get in. Uh, and so eventually you're going to end up having, I believe eventually you'll have these projects get to the point where they mint out day one. And
awesome.
Cartel, the original one, will be the most valuable even.
Yeah, yeah. And so you're looking to link a game as well with Cartel Punks. What type of game is that going to be for the future?
We're looking at some sort of social, possibly a Sims-like game, but involving a shooting element, or a cartel element. Um, the uh, the game is a little bit, it's a little bit just in the conception phase right now, so we're just coming up with ideas. But we did actually pay to have our marketplace built, and that will be built in the next 45 to 60 days. And what that will do is it'll allow fee-free trading. I mean, you still have to pay gas, but other than gas, that you have to pay everywhere, it's fee-free trading for all Cartel Punks holders. On any BSC NFTs, we'll have auctions, we'll have the ability to buy and sell. But also for people who don't hold Cartel Punks, the fees that they pay will get paid out to the Cartel Punks holders.
Cool. And so is there a rarity to each Cartel Punk? How does it work for the 10,000 that are minted?
Yeah, there is a rarity, and we do currently have the rarity sniper up and running. However, the rarity sniper, it'll give you a rough estimate, but it's not actually completely definitive until it has all 10,000. And so then it ranks you. Right now, it'll rank you based on, and every time we get to 1,000, that's when they update. So we have to hit 1,000 more for them to update the numbers again. But then it ranks you based on all of them. So it'll give you a number between one and right now, I think it's like 3,300 or something. And so rank one is obviously the most rare, and then it goes all the way up from there.
Right, cool. So is there going to be how many would be each tier of sort of rarity? There'll be maybe 100 or 1,000 rare ones, and then the rest are more common, or
Um, each investor kind of puts a different scale. there's no real definitive um, answer to how many are considered, how what tier is considered rare, what tier is considered legendary, what tier is considered epic. There's rough charts that people have put out, but it's really up to the individual investor to decide what level of rarity they think is rare enough. And it's not even just rarity. There's a lot of common NFTs that sell for more than rare ones. It's just a matter of what the individual person, buying is looking for and how that particular NFT hits them. There's some NFTs that one person can look at and say, that's just completely garbage. I wouldn't pay 0.01 BNB for that. And then another person could look at it and say, man, I'd pay my whole wallet for that. And
Yeah,
so, it's the same thing. And so and also some people buy off numbers. So like number 69, the 69s and the 420s and the 0 and the 1 and the first 5. All different investors have different ways that they buy these things. Um, but I think mostly it's going to come down, particularly to BSC, since it's in such an infancy, it's going to come down mostly just to how that strikes the individual person. There's a cartel punk for everybody. There's one that really hits and resonates with everybody. And it's a matter of finding that one that really hits and resonates with you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a free market, and everyone puts something, value to each sort of NFT, and 10,000 is nothing really. Yeah, it's a very limited edition. So, um, with the how do they purchase the NFTs, and then they might want to sell them quickly, do they, or a few months later? How does the marketplace work for NFTs? Yeah.
I mean, the best way to do it right now, because what BSC is it's like Ethereum and Solana used to be, where everything is cheap. So the best way to do it now would be to just buy and hold. Uh,
Yeah.
buy buy the NFTs, hold them, wait for BSC to really pop off, and then those NFTs are going to be worth a lot more than they used to be, particularly if there's something that distinguishes them. Being one of the first big collections, I mean, the hype around Cartel Punks makes us a very large scale collection. That's undeniable. I mean, we're getting around everywhere. But being one of the first large collections on BSC, that's really valuable in and of itself once the market evolves and it's flooded with dozens of new projects a day.
I mean, yeah, with what you've just said tonight, I didn't know Pancake Swap's launching the NFTs tomorrow. It's just going to go crazy. So the prices, yeah, NFTs for Cartel Punks, it's a great time to buy. And then just hold, yeah, like you say, diamond hand holders are going to reap the rewards, and then people might want to double the money or treble the money and sell in a short space of time. But so yeah, could you link the website where we can buy them and sell them and stuff in the chat? That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah, it's locked again. Um, but yeah, the selling isn't instant like a token. The selling is you put it up for sale on the marketplace and people buy them. However, if you look at the marketplace Ludex, you'll see that people are frequently buying them and they are being bought and sold. So it's not like there's no market for them. And they're being bought and sold for at or around minting price. So what that tells you is that those the is and some of them are being sold for above. Some are being one sold for 1.5 BNB, one sold for 1 BNB. Uh, but yeah, so some of them are selling for larger amounts, but all of them pretty much are selling for at or above minting price. And that's been steady since the very beginning. So what that tells you is that it'll probably continue that way. So there will be a market for these when minting price is zero point 0.2 BNB. Well, then there's a market for them if you're just looking for a quick 2x. then you sell, right around minting price when it's 0.2 BNB. That probably won't take very long with the rate that we're moving. And but then if you want the real gains, you wait until after everything is fully minted and the hype builds around it after it's been minted and people can no longer just go to a website and mint it. You wait until then, and that's when that's when there's no supply and only demand, and the price just skyrockets.
Yeah, yeah. I've looked into NFT and like people put a price to sell, and then people either buy or not. But I don't know if there's an eBay aspect to it where they can actually bid on it, so it goes higher and higher. Yeah, in the NFT market, or whether people just list that price they want
On
to sell
SCV,
for.
yeah, on SCV.finance, there is an auction feature, but there's not as many. The auctions don't seem to be nearly as active as say a pancake swap market would be with auctions, just because there's not as many people into BSC NFTs right now. Um, so yeah, it's kind of hard to do an auction at the present moment, but that's probably all going to change pretty quickly with the pancake swap market coming out.
Right, yeah. So you've got people that'll just want to keep them forever, and other people in the future would maybe want to sell them. So you're recommending maybe 3 to 6 months hold the NFTs, and then you'll reap the rewards in the future. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine by 3 to 6 months, my guess is it'd be at least 10x. Our floor will be at
Wow.
least 10 times what minting price is now. That would be my guess in 3 to 6 months. My guess is that we'll be fully minted, within a month. Um,
Nice.
and it may even, I mean, we've done 6 days and done about half. So I mean, to
Mm.
say fully minted within a month is rather conservative. I think that's rather conservative when you consider our progress so far. Um, but even so, then you're looking at another, to say 3 months, you're looking at 2 months of nobody being able to mint these things, but people still talking about them and there still being a demand. So yeah, I mean, I could easily see it going to a 10x floor in 3 to 6 months.
Great, great. Yeah. Right. I could open it up to the team. If anyone's got any questions for Jack Hoff.
Yeah, I mean, I told you earlier I bought an NFT, which was pretty cool. And can you remind me again how many are remaining? I think it's under 50. Is that correct?
Uh, how many are remaining? There are about 30, or there are about 6,300, around 6,350 remaining.
Oh, left. Okay, okay. I thought it was lower because you said once it gets to 50%, it usually sells out. Pretty good.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten to 50% yet though. We're at about 36%.
Okay. Wait, thank you.
Yeah, but we're not very far off from the 50%. And our last 1,000 we did in 2 days. So we got the rarity sniper, and it was only 2 days before I was sending them a message saying, let's, because every 1,000 I have to send them a message and then they update it. So yeah, we got that, and then it wasn't even
Awesome.
2 days
Yeah.
before we hit the next 1,000.
Yeah. I mean, you're nearly up to 4,000 members in your Telegram, and you've only been going a few weeks. Did you launch before the NFTs came out? Did you build a community around that? And yeah.
No, I self-launched it. So I just basically launched and then started. Well, I actually launched at night, and then I didn't. And then I went to sleep and didn't do anything really with it. And woke up and there were like 6 mints. And then that next day I went really hard on promotion and built from there.
Cool, cool. Yeah. Anyone else in the team got any questions for Jack?
I'm not on the team, but I have a couple questions.
Okay, yeah, I can open it to the community. Yeah, go ahead.
One thing is, so I have 6 of them. I have 2 questions, but one is I have 6, and my 6th one is showing up on the market there on Lutex, and my 5th one does not show at all anywhere. And I'm not really sure because the number's a little bit lower than my 6th, which still shows. It just seems a little odd to me that I can't get that one to show up.
Check BSC scan. Ludex can be a little wonky sometimes, but BSC scan is never off. So you'll see that number, and maybe try scv.finance as well and see and try connect there. They sometimes you'll see it with them. Takes a little bit longer for things to load sometimes at SCV, but sometimes you'll see it when you won't on Ludex.
Got you. My other question is, so the market and rewards, do you have any plans for that kind of thing? I feel like that's really a big thing now with the BSC NFTs these days, is this rewards thing. And, I'm sure that you're getting kickbacks from Lutex and whatever. And is there a way that you can still incorporate that, like these other projects, like your rival projects that actually are offering rewards and stuff for holding?
Yeah, the rewards from the projects are based off of the marketplace that they create. So I did much like those other projects. I paid for a marketplace that will be out in 45 to 60 days. I just paid the developer today, and that marketplace is going to be both fee-free for holders, and the fees for non-holders, the fees that non-holders pay, are going to be distributed to the holders. That's how those coins are doing it, and that's the same. We're going to go the same route.
About the like lifetime rewards things. That's more, I guess I know what you're talking about, the volume rewards for the marketplace, but like a lot of them are actually inputting the lifetime rewards right off the bat. When you mint it, you get a certain percentage for life.
Oh,
On a
well,
couple of
I would have had to have baked that into the contract from the beginning, and I didn't.
Go ahead.
I didn't put it into the contract from the beginning because I wanted to keep the prices more reasonable for the beginning minters. Those rewards got to be paid by something. So, the in order to get that or well, you're talking about royalties from minting or from the because the market royalties. I don't know how you would work that in so it could get distributed to the holders.
Yeah, I
That
mean, they're separate. They're
yeah,
2 separate reward systems.
yeah, that'd be nearly impossible. Um,
Well, I
because
don't. Can you
you'd
change your contract now? I don't think you can change it now.
you can't change a contract uh, now, but yeah, I don't know how that would interact with the market anyways. I don't know how they're doing that because a market like Ludex, it wouldn't there'd be no way to kick it back. There's no way to kick back a resale. Um, you can't say every time this is resold unless it's on your own marketplace. You can't say every time this is resold a certain percentage goes to anybody. Um, but you can say that for initial mints. You can put a royalty on initial mints, but the reselling, I don't think that you can actually do that and have it still actually work the way people think it works. You know, because where would that money come from?
Yeah. Plus, obviously, the value of cartel punks will go up in value through the months, so people are making profit that way. So the idea you need to build in some sort of reward system is not necessarily anything that NFTs need to do in the future, because you hold for 3 to 6 months and you could make 3 or 4 BNB on each NFT you hold.
Well, and if you think about it, our marketplace is going to be the preferred marketplace for our holders. So for people who want to sell cartel punks, they're going to prefer our marketplace because it's fee free for them since they're a holder. But it's a non-holder that's buying it. And so all of those fees, once the floor becomes 0.8, 1 BNB, whatever that is, all of those fees are going for the non-holders that are buying on this market are going to be, so, if it's your first time buying and you're not a holder yet, you still got to pay a fee. And, standard is about 10% in these markets. And so, you're paying 1 BNB, it turns into 1.1. That 0.1 gets distributed to the holders. And so yeah, with the demand there, it can be extraordinarily profitable having a marketplace that's the prime place to go to for these things that also pays out to holders.
Yeah, so a lot of NFTs are 0.33 BNB from the start. So to start with 0.02 all the way up to 0.2 BNB at the end of the 10,000 it is really good prices. So I can only see the prices going up, but I think some of the 0.33 BNB at the start of 10,000 are maybe not going to make a profit. So yeah, you've started at a really reasonable level. And that's great for investors for the future. And yeah, that's what I'm excited about. That yeah, you started at a really reasonable level, and they're great. The cartel punks are great for people to collect. So yeah, that's going to push the project on forward.
Yeah, it's extraordinarily exciting.
Okay, have we got any more questions for Jack?
I have a
Any
question.
investors? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Jack, you mentioned that basically almost any project right now, the floor price that's established is usually higher than the minting price. Would you agree with that?
No, we're one of the only projects that the floor price is higher than the minting price. That's
Well,
extraordinarily uncommon. There's very few.
Well, at the start of any project, usually people establish the floor price higher, and then if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? But usually people want the higher floor price because they want to get more money. And as far as the experience of myself and probably many other people here, usually you're able to resell them for much higher at the start. So wouldn't you say that points to a bubble, especially when you also said that basically we don't see any new projects in crypto, but we do see new NFT projects. So making long-term predictions for 3 to 6 months could be potentially dangerous.
No, you don't see new NFT projects. You see 100 new tokens every day, but most days there's not a new NFT project being released. There's not a whole lot of these things on BSC. And so yeah, I mean there's not many. There's still 1,000 times more tokens than there are NFT projects on BSC.
Awesome. So you're saying this could potentially last for a long time.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean the number of projects that are out now, if you compare it to like Ethereum or Solana, right now Ethereum and Solana have thousands of projects out. They have probably dozens of projects that come out every single day. Whereas BSC is so new and so early that there's not even a project coming out every day. There might be a big project people are talking about every day. For the last week, it's probably been Cartel punks, but it's not. It's very, very, very early right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there's also, the aspect of I think BNB will be $1,000 by Christmas to January or February. So if people are saying, oh well, you pay between 0.02 and 0.2 BNB, I might not make that much profit, but at the end of the day, if it's $1,000 at Christmas, then your 0.2 would be like 0.6 BNB. So you've actually made 2 times your profit as well that way as well. So there's so many ways to win with an NFT, whether the price goes up or the BNB value goes up. And because it's quite low at the moment, then yeah, in the next 3 to 6 months, NFTs could make a lot of profit for people just for the fact that BNB has gone up to $1,800 to $1,000 each, and at the moment it's about 370. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that we'll see BNB at 1,000 before the end of the year.
Yep. So has anyone else got a question for Jack? No. Any of the team or any investors? No. Okay. Well, I can finish the recording. It sounds a really amazing project you've created here, Jack. Cartel Punks. I really love the NFTs, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. And like you say, you're going to hit the 10,000 pretty quick, probably in October. And at 0.08, well, to me that's a bargain. I need to buy some, as we've been chatting here tonight. So yeah, I'll definitely be investing. Thank you very much for coming on video chat here tonight. I'll send a recording over to you. But yeah, if there's anything you wanted to say to finish, if we've missed anything, yeah, you can tell us. That's cool.
Nothing that I can think of, but thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah. I'll link the Telegram so you can head over to Cartel Punks to buy some NFTs. And yeah, any questions you've got? Are you in the voice chat sometimes, Jack, over there, or you're in the text chat? You can answer your questions for them.
I haven't been in voice chat, but nobody's really asked for it. I'm not opposed to it, but yeah, just nobody's really asked for it. The last time I tried was a lot earlier on, so maybe that's a good idea to get a voice back on.
All right, cool. But if anyone can DM you about the Cartel Punks NFTs and any questions they've got,
We'll just come in the group and ask.
Yeah, cool. Thanks very much for coming, Jack. That was awesome. Yeah, very excited for your project. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for having me.